The Russian Army's recent attempt at an unconventional armored vehicle was short-lived. Merely 10 days after its public debut through widely circulated social media photos, the BTR-80 wheeled fighting vehicle equipped with UB-32 rocket pods, borrowed from an attack helicopter or warplane, met an unfortunate fate. In the southern Donetsk Oblast, just south of Vuhledar, the vehicle found itself under attack by first-person racing drones while hidden temporarily within a tree line adjacent to the road it had been traversing. This area has seen Ukrainian forces actively pushing forward in recent weeks, with the Vuhledar axis proving particularly advantageous due to the depletion of Russian brigades defending it, specifically, the 40th and 155th Naval Infantry Brigades, during the first 16 months of Russia's wider war on Ukraine. The extent of the damage inflicted on the 15-ton BTR by the Ukrainian drones, which is speedy quadcopters laden with explosives and controlled via virtual reality headsets, remains unclear. Nevertheless, the incident has inconvenienced the Russians as they rush to reinforce one of their more vulnerable sectors. The BTR-80, an 8-wheel vehicle capable of accommodating 10 individuals, was equipped with 32-round rocket pods designed for unguided S-5 or S-8 rockets. This expedient solution highlights the growing desperation of an army that has already lost over 10,000 armored vehicles during the first 16 months of its ongoing war in Ukraine. Historically, there has been a tradition among Soviet, Russian, and Allied forces to fit UB-style rocket pods onto trailers, trucks, fighting vehicles, and even tanks. However, these rocket pod modifications never truly solved the fundamental issue of fire control. Unlike helicopters and warplanes, which possess ballistic computers aiding in aiming, the crude ground vehicles lack such sophisticated systems. Their crews engage targets within a couple of miles, relying on luck for successful hits. The increasing deployment of crude vehicles by Russian forces, including BTRs armed with rocket pods, MTLB armored tractors retrofitted with old naval guns, and even explosives-laden T-55 suicide tanks, reflects the shortage of purpose-built fighting vehicles. With a loss rate exceeding 500 armored vehicles per month for 16 months and a production capacity limited to a few hundred new or refurbished vehicles every 30 days, the Kremlin's alternative to sending recruits into battle in machine gun-armed pickup trucks remains these improvised vehicles. However, these DIY vehicles face the same risks that have depleted Russia's arsenal of purpose-built vehicles, making their existence necessary. The threat of first-person racing drones, such as the ones that targeted the BTR-80-UB-32, is just one example. Other hazards include mines, artillery, and anti-tank guided missiles, which arguably pose even greater dangers. The swift rise and fall of the BTR-80-UB-32 serves as a reminder of the importance of scale. To make up for wartime losses and establish new offensive brigades, both the Russian and Ukrainian armed forces require hundreds of new armored vehicles each month. While custom-made vehicles like the BTR-80-UB-32, MTLB-2M3, MTLB-12, and BMPT-62 may grab headlines, it is the vehicles that can be acquired or mass-produced in large quantities that truly impact the battlefield, where vehicles are consumed in great numbers. For the Russians, downgraded T-80 and T-72 tanks, along with reconditioned BTRs, fill this role. Meanwhile, the Ukrainians rely on Leopard 1 tanks, mine-resistant armored trucks, and M113 armored personnel carriers. The effectiveness of these different vehicle types in battle is yet to be seen. Thanks for watching.